All right, DJ, so right there is an advanced beat juggling technique that was 100% inspired by DJ Puffy. This is a segment that I took from one of his Red Bull freestyle competitions. It's actually the one where he actually won. So definitely go check out his full set, as well as check out this particular segment that he did. I kind of put my own flavor on it, but it's definitely 110% inspired by DJ Puffy. So in this particular video, we won't be going that in depth, but that is an example of what you can do with beat juggling. But this particular video will just be part one, and we'll be going over the bare basics of how to beat juggle. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is find a song within the 70 to 75 BPM range, just to keep it pretty slow as we do learn the basics. And you're going to wanna load the same song on each deck. And first, I'm gonna show you an example of how I practice a 4-beat beat juggle, and then we'll kind of break it down, and then we'll move forward. So the first thing we're gonna practice is a 4-beat juggle. So what you wanna do is start off with one of your decks actually playing, and then you're gonna just count out 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So right on this 1 is where we're gonna actually wanna play our other deck. So if we go back to the beginning, the only thing we're gonna do to start this off is we're gonna do a forward scratch. And a forward scratch is gonna look just like this. You're gonna start with your crossfader close on the opposite side. So obviously you can't hear this side. In a forward scratch, all we're doing is starting with our platter right before the sound, and we're just gonna push it forward just a little bit, and we're gonna open the crossfader. So just like that, we have the sound playing, crossfader close, and then when we're ready to start this song, we're just gonna kind of push it forward / kind of just let it go. Okay? So again, we have 4 beats, and this is exactly how we're gonna practice. We're gonna drop this song first, and as soon as we drop this song, we're gonna move our crossfader all the way to the right, so only this song is playing, and then we're actually gonna hit the play button on this song so we can start preparing this to bring this in, okay? So even before we start, I'm going to have my crossfader all the way on this side, so of course we can't hear anything on this side, and then let's go ahead and start. Get this one ready, forward scratch, use our Q button to get back to that 1, using that Q button again, and then once you get kind of comfortable with doing it like this, with using the Q button, we're actually gonna start rewinding the track back with our hand. And then even doing this helps as well, like doing a baby scratch to help you with the timing. So as you can see here, I'm kind of prepping it with the baby scratch. Sorry, I just queued that up. So rewind back, baby scratch, but don't let the actual baby scratch be heard. So we're just practicing this 4-beat loop over and over, rewinding back. So you're gonna wanna keep doing this. You're gonna wanna keep doing that over and over and over. Slow it down even farther if you need to. Like if you need to go to 65, start as slow as you need to. So once you've perfected that, just dropping it on that 4-beat loop, you're gonna wanna do the same exact thing, but you're gonna do it with 2 beats instead of 4. So that'll sound just like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're gonna wanna keep practicing this over and over. And as you can see, each time that I'm doing it, I'm actually using that baby scratch method where I do a baby scratch because it just kind of helps me drop it on the 1. If you're more comfortable with doing the forward scratch and not doing the baby scratch, that's actually just as fine. It's actually whatever you're more comfortable with. And then another thing to always notice is every time you're dropping your track, you're keeping your crossfader all the way on the side where the track is playing until it's actually time to drop the track on the other side. So you should only be hearing one track at a time. You're either fully on your right, and then while you're prepping your left hand side, You're actually just prepping it, like I said, so it might help some of you drop it perfectly on the one, but you're not actually moving the crossfader until you're actually dropping the song. Okay, so that's how you would practice a 4-beat juggle as well as a 2-beat juggle. Okay, once you get comfortable with doing 4-beat and 2-beat juggles, then you can move on to attempting to do a 1-beat juggle or even a half-beat juggle. So a 1-beat juggle is going to sound just like this. And then from there, you also have a half-beat juggle, which is really difficult even for me because you're transitioning, or you're going back and forth every half beat, which is like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There is your half-beat juggle. So I would recommend starting with the 4-beat and definitely practice the 4-beat as long as you need to. Then move on to the 2-beat juggle, then move on to the 1-beat juggle. If you're feeling confident enough, also try the half-beat as well. But I would say focus on the 4-beat and the 2-beat. And even if you can get down to a 1-beat juggle, I think that's really, really impressive. Now, one thing you can do to add a little bit of spice or flavor to your beat juggles is actually do a chirp scratch or that baby scratch, but actually have it play in real time. So it would sound like this. I'm going to start with just a 4-beat juggle. So as you can see there, now we're just pulling our crossfader a little bit off the edge so we can actually hear the baby scratch, or you can do a chirp scratch if you like as well, before we drop it on the 1. And that just adds, like I said, just a little bit of flavor. So it's essentially the exact same thing, but you're just pulling your crossfader off of the edge so you can hear the baby scratch or the chirp scratch. So I'll do it again. This time I'll do it with the 2-beat juggle. And I'll do baby scratches and chirp scratches. So as you can see with that 2-beat juggle, I use the baby scratch and the chirp scratch, and I actually opened the crossfader so you could hear it before I dropped it on the 1. So as you're practicing these beat juggles, remember that it does take time to start to get these down. So as long as you need to practice the 4-beat juggle, do not try to skip to the 2-beat or the 1-beat too fast. Make sure you perfect the 4-beat juggle before you actually decide to move on. And the most important thing is actually just getting used to pulling this record back, or letting the record go. If you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and just getting used to spinning that record back. And all I do is give it a quick spin using my wrist, and then also getting ready to drop it on that 1. So that's why practicing the 4-beat juggle, just going back and forth with 4 beats, is a really, really good practice before you start trying to make it faster and faster. So with that said, that is part 1 of the beat juggle tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a like, as well as hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, so you know the next time that I'm dropping a video. So without further ado, that's it for this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one.